Okay, you guys, so we are going to be making fish tacos today. This is a recipe that was shared with me, um, and I will be sharing it with you. I actually love it, and you can use this recipe. You can take whatever you think your family will enjoy. The same butter that I'm going to use, you can use it for shrimp as well if you don't want to use it with fish. Um, so let me go ahead and tell you the ingredients that you're going to be using. Okay, so we are going to be using fish. So today I have fillets over here of rockfish that I got at the store. I cut it in this size so that I can actually dip it into the butter and then put it in the oil to fry it. Um, you will be using uh, all-purpose flour. You will be using a dark beer. You also will use any type of spice, seasoning that you have that you think your family will enjoy. This one is what's really recommended, and it's 24 herbs and spices seasoning. So this one you can use. I'm gonna throw in some seasoning from Costco, and then I also have this lemon pepper that I'm gonna add also. Don't worry if it's a little salty because when you actually deep fry it, it's not gonna taste as salty. Then you're gonna need also one egg. So make sure you also have one egg available. So that's what we're gonna use for the butter. And then we're gonna use mayo. And we also gonna need some milk. And let me make sure, yes, mayo and milk. And then we're gonna be using this for the salsa. We're gonna need some jalapeños, orange, one lemon. I have an extra half, so I'm gonna be using that too. I'm gonna be using 3 tomatoes. I have a full onion. I think I'm just gonna use half of this purple onion. You can use white onion or yellow onion is fine. I'm probably gonna use half of this cabbage, and then I'm gonna use this amount of cilantro. You're also gonna need some oregano, and then you also need some pepper, and then you also need some salt. So that's what we're gonna be needing in terms of ingredients. And then we also need some oil. And I am going to get the stove, the pan, to get it warmed up. There it is. And I'm gonna put it at medium low heat. I'm gonna add some oil. And you wanna add plenty of oil so that you can deep fry the fish. Okay, looks good right there. So we'll give it some time to warm up and you can see how it looks. Okay, so we're gonna start over here. And I am going to begin, I'm gonna put the fish next to my stove. I'm going to begin with this is the butter, and we're gonna use 1 cup or 2 cups of flour. I'm gonna use 2 cups of flour today. So 1, and maybe like 1.5. And then I'm gonna add the egg. I'm gonna add the spices. And you wanna be generous with the amount of spice that you add. Again, don't worry about the saltiness. There he goes. This one smells really good. This is the 24 herb seasoning. Okay. And then we're gonna add the beer. We're gonna add half of this beer. Okay. Slowly, because as you can see, you have some foam that's forming. This is a, how many ounces is this? I don't even know. I just went to the store and I got this because we don't really drink beer here. So this is a dark beer just for that flavor that you want. Okay. And you're gonna keep stirring this, mixing it, and you add more beer slowly. Smells really good actually, guys. Okay. Keep working your way through it. Okay, let me add some more. You can also use a fork if you don't have this tool at home. You want to have a good consistency, so you don't want it too thick or too liquidy. Add a little bit more. You want to incorporate all the flour, the butter that you're going to use. So this batter looks really good so far. You want to incorporate all the flour. Okay. I'm going to add a little bit more. I think this is really good already. You can see the consistency of it. And this is where we will dip our fish before we fry it. Okay, it's looking good. If you want it a little bit more liquidy, just add more beer. I think it's looking really good already. I think this size is like 2 regular beers. So That's why half of it is good enough. Okay, my batter's ready. I'm gonna bring this over here to the next to the stove, and that's ready. I'm going to rinse this really quickly. Okay, so we are done with this. Now I'm gonna do the mayo and the milk. So I have like maybe 3 tablespoons of mayo. I'm gonna add another one. So let's say 3 or 4 tablespoons. I'm gonna be generous. And then you add your milk. You just wanna mix this also. You don't want it too liquidy, so doesn't need a lot of milk, just a little bit. If it gets too liquidy, just add more mayo. Just want to mix this really well. So it's just basically milk with mayo. I'm going to put this milk away because I don't want it to spoil. More mayo, so I'm going to add more mayo. You don't want it too liquidy, so again, be careful with the amount of milk you add. So it's kind of like I would say like a dressing that you're making over here, but it's just milk and mayo. That's all it is. Now it's looking good. It's the right consistency that I want. You want to just mix it really well. And I'm just going to throw in some pepper here. Some fresh pepper. Looks good. And this is my consistency. Okay. So that's ready. Okay. Now I'm going to start with the salsa that I put on top. So let me start cutting the cabbage. And like I told you, right, I'm going to probably use half of this cabbage that I had. Okay. And then I'm going to actually go and cut it the other way too. It's almost like it's in little squares. And I had already rinsed all my vegetables, so everything's washed already. So I'm going to add it here. So that's my cabbage. And then I'm going to go with the onion. So I'm going to go half of this onion. And you want squares. Okay. Now I'm gonna go ahead and add the tomatoes. Same thing. Let me put the mayo away. Okay. Okay, there goes one more. Let's see how it looks. Quite honestly, it needs more onion. So I'm gonna go ahead and add the rest of the onion, or at least one half of this piece too. So let's see how this looks with half of it. And if I think it needs more, I'll add more. You know, that's the beauty of cooking, is that you're in control. So when you cook in your own kitchen, when you have your own ingredients, you are in control of how do you want your salsa to look like. And so I wanted to have more onion just because I want it to be more flavor, more flavorful. So I'm adding more onion. And then I have my last tomato over here. There it is. And now I'm gonna add the cilantro. It's already pre-washed. I always start with the ends on my cilantro. I don't know about you guys, but I love the scent of cilantro. It's one of my favorite herbs. It's so good. It smells so good. All right. So I think it's looking good. This is my extra onion. This is my extra cabbage over here on the side. I'm going to start with the oregano. So I'm going to grab 3 fingers, more or less. And then I just add it. It's probably like 1 tablespoon. Then I'm going to add some salt. Maybe like half a tablespoon. You always want to start with less. Right? You don't want to add too much salt because then it's salty and then you can't go back. So it's better to not have too much salt and then you add progressively. There you go. And I also need to add some jalapeños. So it depends how spicy you like your salsa. So I'm going to add 2 jalapeños today. So I cut the ends of it. And same concept, you want little squares. So you want to get your strips first. Some people hold their jalapeños with the fork. I don't mind. You want to hold it with the fork, that's fine. And then I'm going to add the lemon. Okay. Here's the other half of the lemon. And then I'm going to add the orange. Just gives it a nice kick to it. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and mix it. And this is my salsa for the tacos. It's looking really good. Smells delicious too. Okay. And my oil should be ready. So then I'm going to start making my taco in a bit. There you go. It's ready for us. Again, if you don't like a lot of tomato, then you only put 2. If you don't like a lot of onion, then you put less. Again, you are always in control of how you want your salsa to look. I love tomato. I love cilantro. I'm going to try it just to make sure it has enough salt. It actually needs more salt. So I'm going to add more salt. Try it one more time. A little bit more. Okay, let me try it. Delicious. Actually, I'm going to add more lemon. So I have another lemon here. These lemons are not very citrusy. That's why it probably needs more. Depends what, this lemons came from my lemon tree, and these lemons are not as acidic as other traditional lemons. So again, you want to play with the flavor and how citrusy you want your salsa. Let's see. You see? Mm, mm. Okay, now it's on point. Love it. Okay. All right, so let's come over here. The stove. Let me wash my hands really quickly. The oil's ready. I'm going to actually increase the heat to medium heat. Okay. Gonna need this one's. Put my oil on the side. All right. In the meantime, right, we're going to make sure the butter's mixed. So I just grab a fork really quickly just to make sure it's mixed before I actually use it. Okay. Mix it really well again. There we go. Okay. And I'm going to start by dipping it here. I'm going to get as close as I can to my pan. There you go. And here he goes, guys. First piece. That's one taco. Okay. This is another piece. And that's my second taco. My daughter wanted a taco, so I'm going to make another one. Let me move this a little bit. There you go. Add one more. Has space for another one. I'm going to show you how it looks. There they are. And I'm going to get my tortillas for my taco. And I am going to have my comal where I'm going to warm up my tortilla. Medium heat. Here are my tortillas. Okay, a little bit higher the heat. A little bit higher than medium. There you go. I grab my plate so I can be ready. And I'm actually going to put some napkins on top of that plate. I'm going to put some napkins on top of this plate so when I take out the fish, it can take out the excess oil. Okay. And turn it to the other side. Throwing a little bit of oil on top. I want to make sure that the fish cooks all the way through. Okay, I'm gonna clean over here the oranges and stuff that I have over here in the meantime. You also want to make sure you clean after yourselves. Right. I have my salsa, my mayo. My jalapeños. And let's see how this looks. All right. It's like a little bit brown from the other side, so I'm gonna flip it one more time. There you go. Ooh, looks really good. Let me show you. This is how it looks. And I'm going to start with my tortillas. Oh. So my fish is almost ready and my tortillas are getting there. Let me grab another plate for my taco. So this piece is ready. I'm gonna put it over here in the napkin to drain the excess oil. So there's a little bit more. Check on this side. This one looks ready. My tortillas, I flip them. And a few seconds, and then the tortilla is going to be ready. Okay, so I'm going to make a taco. I'm going to turn this off because this is ready. I don't want it to burn. And I'm going to grab my fish. I'm going to put in my tortilla. So I'm going to show you, right? So I have the fish, I have the tortilla. If this is too thick, you can cut it in half, which is actually what I'm going to do. So I can make 2 tacos out of this piece. And look at what just happened. So I grab my other tortilla. There it is. So there you go. So now I'm gonna add the veggies and mayo. So I'm gonna start with the salsa. Then I add the mayo on top, kind of like a dressing, right? Then I have my jalapeño on the side, and I am ready to eat these amazing tacos. And there you go, guys. Let me go ahead and try one, just because they look so yummy. And oh my God, I'm hungry. So let's start. Amazing. They are delicious. Thank you, Heidi, Brianna, for the recipe. It's amazing. Okay. And we're done.